Hi, welcome to our third video for first home buyers. How much deposit do I require to buy a certain type of property? Um, Having the funds or the deposit, I guess, is the biggest barrier to entry to buying a property. So when you would like to buy a property, the bank will give you money or they will lend you money, but it is also mandatory that you have a certain amount of deposit so that it covers their risk. So how much is that? How much is the amount that's required from you? Mostly people come to me saying, "Yeah, I've heard that we need a 5% deposit, and that's it. We can buy a property." It's true, but it's still not true. Um, we probably can get a loan at 5% deposit, but the interest rates are really high, and you might want to double think before you want to go down that path. But most of the lenders don't lend at just 5%. There is a little bit more required. So we'll cover that in this video. So as I said, the biggest hurdle when buying a property is just not having enough deposit, especially for first home buyers, because they don't have equity in the property or they haven't saved over a period of time. And sometimes they even make a wrong decision to just go and buy a property and later on just realize they don't have enough deposit. So what happens is when you book an appointment with one of our teams, so we go through with you all the points, all the costs associated. It's a very simple spreadsheet called estimate of cost. So we just present that to you and it's there in the screen. That normally starts off with what the property price is and all different costs associated with buying the properties, like a stamp duty costs, your solicitor's fees, your bank application fee, your lender's mortgage insurance, and then we put the total cost for actually buying the property. For example, in this one, the price of the property is 800, the actual cost is 847 after adding all those things. And then what is the loan that we get from the bank and how much money is required in hand so that you can go and buy the property. So estimate of cost is something which we present to you, and we present to you so that you are well equipped and you know exactly how much money you need before you go and make the purchase. Okay, so that would be the first part of it. Now, in terms of the deposit, the best case scenario is if you have a 20% deposit plus stamp duty, so we're looking at 25%. So if your property, for example, hypothetically is $100, if you've got $25 and the bank is lending you $80, the $5 is for the stamp duty and other costs. So if the bank is lending you 80 and you've got 20, that's the best case scenario, and the banks love you, and your loan is normally approved very easily. So once you start borrowing more than 80% from the bank, they charge something what is called a lender's mortgage insurance, and we'll be covering that in our upcoming videos. So as we go, we borrow more than 80%, there's mortgage insurance cost. So the next best scenario we say is like somewhere if you got a deposit of 12% plus cost, so we're looking at around 17%. So that's like a 12% deposit and 5% for stamp duty and other costs. However, there are certain professions, if you're like a doctor, you're a nurse, you've got a CPA, normally these things get waived off at the 12% plus deposit. The mortgage insurance is normally waived off. But again, do contact us and we can see if you fit the right profession and if there is any offers there where we can get the mortgage insurance off. For some reason, I think there's one bank right now that even offering 85%. If you've got a 15% deposit, you don't need to pay mortgage insurance. But again, there are lots of terms and conditions around it. Um, Look, the other one is 95%. The bank will let you 95%. So you need to have a 5% deposit plus stamp duty. So technical stamp duty and other costs. So technically you're looking at around 8 to 9% at the minimum. So that is also not a bad option if you have around 8 to 9%. But like I told you at the beginning of this video, if you only have 5% of the property price, we probably can still do the loan, but the interest rates are relatively high. They're almost 1.5, 2% higher than the actual market rate. So, but again, get in touch with us and we'll make the estimate of cost. And even if you're not ready, we'll give you a target where you can be ready in the future. Okay, and thank you for watching. Hope this video was useful and see you in the next video. Cheers.